let's move on. Next up, we have Leah. Originally, we were set to have them do Donkey Kong Country Returns on the Switch, but because they showed up late, we unfortunately don't have time. So instead, we are having them run Yohane the Parhelion, Blaze in the Deep Blue, with any percent. So, off to you, Leah.
Hello, hello. Yeah, so this game's about 40 minutes shorter than DK. Unfortunately, I didn't get to run it, but I am wearing this little tie I made. Just sign of remembrance for the run that we lost. Um,
That's nice. Still a really cool anime tie, though.
um, so yeah, this game is a Metroidvania. It was announced as an April Fool's joke, but it turned out to be real. It kind of shouldn't exist, but we're really happy it does. I ran this at UKSG 2 weeks ago, and it was a lot of fun. You may know this game better by the name of John, because it's got a pretty long title, to be fair, so we need to cut some corners sometimes. I'm going to just get this thing started right now. So I'm going to start the run in 3, 2, 1, and go.
So could you explain a little bit more about this game? So you've told us it's a Metroidvania, but...
Yeah, so it's a Metroidvania based on the Love Live anime series, more specifically, which is a really interesting crossover, to say the least. This game has a lot of RNG, for the record, so kind of every run of this game is different, so we'll just see what we get. For now, though, the main movement tech for a lot of the run will be slide chaining. So normally a slide will last about 0.7 of a second, but if you press the slide button about every half second, you can basically like chain slides so you don't have to start and stop them constantly, and this saves a lot of time. The only problem is it's fairly tight. It's like between like a 3 and 5 frame window. We don't actually know exactly, but something like that to get it every time.
Oh, that is fairly tight, and from what it looks like, this runs at 60 frames?
Yeah, 60 frames per second. You can play this game at 120 frames per second, but that's only available on PC and some specific consoles. And even then, it's not available for all PC players. So we split the boards between 120, 60, and Switch. 120 FPS lets you move slightly faster, on top of some other things. And the Switch is the same as 60 FPS, but Switch has the slowest loads, so we separate it as well. I'm playing on a Switch just for convenience. Much easier to get this here. That is a musical score. That is a surprise tool that will help us later.
So if you play at a high frame rate, does that lower essentially the window you have to perform this slide?
No, I think it's the same window on... I think in terms of real time, it's the same window every time. The main difference on 20 FPS has is that you move faster, maybe like 5-10% faster. I think loads are also faster for some reason on 120. And then some other weird quirks, like enemies are programmed differently on 120. They kind of reprogram the game from the bottom up for 120 FPS.
Oh, that's interesting. I guess that's mainly to account for the faster movement speed.
Yeah, most likely. I've never played 120 FPS myself, so this is entirely based on what other people have said. But yeah, I am currently the 60 FPS world record holder, though.
Oh, looks like we're up to our first boss.
Yep. So most bosses, at least for the first part of the game, are going to be fought like this. We have our partner attack, that's Lilat's the wolf, and we have our weapon attack, that's the guitar. Oh, he is not taking a lot of damage there.
I was going to ask about Lilat. They look very cute.
Yeah.
I'm quite a fan.
This game has a really pretty art style. But yeah, each of our attacks has a cooldown, so we just alternate them, and that basically gets rid of the cooldown and lets us attack constantly. You may have noticed that damage rolls are basically random. And I actually got quite unlucky there. I got a lot of low rolls, so I didn't kill him that quickly. If you get like a golden damage number, that means it's critical hit, and that deals like double the base damage.
Oh, I see. So crits are dealt out randomly.
Yeah. It's more relevant for other bosses than that one, as well as like straight enemy encounters. But yeah, it's just one of like the many bits of randomness in this game. There was a bit I completely skipped over actually, but I'll have many more opportunities to discuss that. But yeah, I guess in randomness you've got the damage rolls, you've got item drops, and you've also got randomized runes. And randomized runes aren't going to come up again for like another 4 minutes or so, but yeah, item drops are very much still relevant. There's an item we're looking to make about 20 minutes into the run. I pretty much could get the ingredients from it from the beginning of the game. But yeah, they're random drops from pots. Yeah, we're mostly just keeping a lookout, seeing if we get them. As far as pots go, we're not going too far out of our way to break them. If they're like reasonably close to the path, we'll get them. It's nice that we can break them just while sliding, so we don't have to stop and attack them every time. This area we're not going to complete right now. We're going to pass through this area a couple times before completing it. Oh, there's one. Tide Light. I got a Tide Light from that first pot there. That is a very, very important item. I need 5 of those by like the first 20 minutes. If I don't, I can farm. But it's, to be honest, not super often you get all those Tide Lights without having to farm. Got a Sequence Break right here. So we can stall in the air by using the Qatar attack. We could use Lilacs as well, but she has a longer cooldown, so it's better to use a Qatar for this. And by doing that, we can get this item earlier than we're supposed to. That actually saves like a minute in backtracking. We're supposed to get that by the time we finish this area, but we can just get it right now. And that item that lets us walk underwater, so we need that to progress further in Grotto, which has got a lot of water in it. The part that we rescued in Sunken Temple, Chica, she isn't super useful throughout the run, but she does disable this guy's shield, so let's get a bunch of hits in. A lot of bosses in this game revolve around just like finding as many opportunities as possible to attack, getting like really up close and personal with every boss. Yeah, we're not done with this guy yet. He'll come back 2 more times. The only boss that behaves like that for some reason. I don't know why, but yeah. Always need to be wary of my health here. Confusingly, the health is the white bar on the top left corner of the screen, not the green bar. The green bar is DP, or darkness points. These darkness points will decrease whenever I like use some attacks, but at this point in the game, none of my attacks use up a huge amount of it, so it's kind of irrelevant until later. We have a save point over to the left here. Save points are really, really useful. Not only do they fully refill your health and DP, you can actually return to them at any point from anywhere on the map. So, super useful for fast travel. And that one serves to both purposes. We're going to return to it later, but we also need to heal right there. I shot the wrong way. Whoops. Okay. Kind of off script on this fight. It's going to go a bit longer than intended. Yeah, this has gone really off script. He doesn't usually do this attack in the second fight here. Usually only does that in the final time we fight him.
That is something funny. Whenever we have a wise run, there's always something that doesn't quite go to plan. The best thing you can do is just brush it off and keep going.
Yeah, that happens literally all the time in this game. Like, this game's not super hard, like, gameplay-wise. It's more like adapting to all the RNG. And getting the RNG in the first place, but like, yeah, there are some bits that get scary. You might notice I'm about to die here. There is a backup save point here. We don't always take this, but just for safety, I'll take it. And we're about to go into the ruins randomized rooms, the second set of randomized rooms overall. So what is the deal with these randomized rooms? Well, first thing is that there are a random number of them. There can be between 2 and 5. Obviously, you'd want only 2 each time. But I think the lowest someone's gotten in a run across 9 sets of randomized rooms is 23. If you do the maths, that is like it's like 2.5 on average, which is super lucky. I've had a 24 myself.
Oh, that's rough.
The other thing is that the rooms themselves are random, and as you might guess, some rooms are better than others. They're not all created equal. Actually, not getting very lucky here. We've got at least 4 rooms in this one. You can tell when you've got the last room because the portal will be gold instead of blue. Oh no, 5 rooms. Not off to a good start. I think we got 3 in Sunken Temple, so it's like not terrible, but yeah, 5 rooms is not great. My PB gets 5 rooms on the last set of warp rooms, which is always really rough, but yeah, we're at it now. We don't know like the actual rates and stuff, but like you'd expect an average run to get 3.5-ish per set, so around 31.5 overall.
Yeah, floor of averages for it.
So last fight with the guy for now. For the record, like almost no enemies in this name actually have a name, so we just kind of call everything the guy. And you just have to infer which guy we're referring to by context.
Are there no community-made names? Yeah.
Oh, there are community-made names. Some of them are caught on, some of them haven't. Yeah, this guy doesn't really have a name. I think there's only like a couple of the bosses actually have like widely agreed upon names. The rest are just like, call them whatever you want. Actually going to take a little safety measure here. Please, menu, probably. Thank you. Gonna take a little safety measure and get that save point, because I just noticed my health is not the greatest, and the next area is quite rough. Just for safety, because we're already not really going for a PB, given that we got 5 rooms right there. So. Yeah, this is our second partner that we've unlocked, our 3rd one overall. Kanan. She is even less useful than Chica, to be honest. She really does almost nothing for us, but she does kill those enemies right there and break stone floors for us. So welcome to Sunken Volcano. This is a big step up in difficulty from the 3 areas we were just in. Enemies hit a lot harder here, and we still got pretty much the same gear.
I apologize, I haven't been speaking much. I've been a bit distracted with the whole believable shape. Small update. TLDR, it's illegal to give someone estrogen if they're not prescribed it, so unfortunately that option is simply not going to be valid.
Oh no. That's a shame.
Yeah, apologies for that.
Going into the volcano rooms here. There are some rooms here that can be kind of scary.
Like from an enemy standpoint?
Yeah, some of these rooms can go wrong quite easily. Or they're still far from the worst set of randomized rooms. That'll be the next set we deal with. Actually, no, the one after next. Okay, this one isn't bad, it's just, like, in terms of enemies, it's just really, really long. Like, not all rooms are created equal. This one takes quite a while. And it's not the last one. Wow, RNG's really not there today. Okay, there we go. There is a save point down here. You can also skip this one, and this is one of the best ones to skip, that you like can skip, but our health is low enough, mostly because we got so many rooms, that I'm not comfortable skipping that.
Yeah, that's perfectly fair. Yeah, I have learned the hard way. You need to play it safe with these runs. Play it safe.
These are pretty important enemies right here. The Axemen or Axe Dudes, whatever you want to call them. They drop a very important item called a Great Axe Fragment, which we got one of from the first guy. Oh, there's another tie light. Yeah, we need... so kind of at the same time we need to get like the 5 Tide Lights, we need 3 Great Axe Fragments. We now have 1 to our name. There are a couple more Axe guys that we can kill without having to actually farm for them, so hopefully we get lucky. Our room RNGs were pretty dismal this run, but at least we have Tide Lights to our name.
Alright, we're going to have Lena on for commentating as well. A couple updates. Instead of estrogen, we are instead going to substitute that for White Monster. So make sure to update your vote as required. And we have a £5 donation from Kiri, which just says Zura.
Mira Izura. Those who know. Right, so right at the end there, we just kind of abruptly left Volcano. The main reason for that first track there was not to complete the area, but it was to pick up the double jump, which, well, lets us double jump. If Celeste has taught us anything, it's to trans people to double jump. So, here we go. Not saying that Yohane is trans, but, you know, he might be. But anyway, yeah, we're going to finish off Grotto now. So actually get the boss done here. Not too bad of an area. This is kind of the last area we're going to be doing with our like current gear. Also, wow, 4 rooms again. Really, really unlucky. This room has an Axeman in it. Lucky we go. Oh, nice. Not lucky with the rooms, but lucky with the drops so far. There is an optional save point. I'm going to skip it because it shouldn't need to heal here, hopefully. I hope I don't regret that. It's off to the left there. The thing is, if you take it, you kind of usually get hit by that crab anyway. Because like the cycles are different. So it wouldn't make much of a difference to our current health.
Tech, can we get Lena's mic on, please?
So we've just gone back to the Fortune Parlor, which is kind of our home. It's kind of where we go if we die, but also functions as a shop.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, so there are 2 main items we were looking to get there. We were mainly we can buy potions from there. So we were buying, which is weird because if we own it, then we shouldn't have to buy it. But anyway, looking to buy offense talismans and also health potions, and we just got one of the best accessories in the game. Nice.
Offense talisman. Attack boost.
Yes, offense talismans are very useful. We actually just crafted one of the best accessories in the game, is what I meant. So it's an optional accessory, like you don't get it every run. It's the Analytic Spectacles. It gives us a lot of health and DP at this point in the game, but it also, most importantly, gives us 10% additional crit chance, which is super useful. So yeah, see, there's 3 in a row right there. That's crazy. Like, those crits are popping up way more often now.
Yep, I did notice.
So that's going to be really helpful for some future bosses. Yeah, that is the last boss we're killing with just our Qatar and Lilaps. Gonna get some upgrades in the next location. And speaking of the next area, Shipwreck is kind of like the hardest area in the game. Not in terms of like just numbers, but like what we're dealing with, like with the gear we have, this is like the hardest area in the game, and it's where most runs come to die. Not just because of difficulty, but also because of RNG. Because the items I've been teasing, like the think we're going to get within the first 20 minutes of the run, or like shortly after the first 20 minutes. We get that in Shipwreck. So it kind of all comes together here. And then if you get past Shipwreck, you've got like the other like 60% of the run left to think about. Rare Chica usage here. That's like almost the last time we used Chica in the run, I think. And we've got like 75% of the run left. The partner we rescued in Grotto is Daya, who is basically like a better version of Lilaps in most cases. He's stronger, and also we just got our last Great Axe fragment, which is really nice. Saying that, I think I know what's just happened. You see that exclamation mark above Yohane there on the top center of the screen? I think I know what that means. I think that means I can actually make the item right now, which is insane. Look at that. Wow. Yeah, I just have it right now. Okay, that's really rare. Yeah, the Buster Sword is basically the best weapon in the game. And we have it now. And it's super lucky to get it this quickly. My partners are all over the place. I'm really not used to having Buster Sword in here. Wow. Okay. That might be like the earliest I've ever gotten it. But yeah, this is the best weapon in the game. It hits super hard. The only thing is it takes a long time to wind up, but yeah, this is super powerful. And we're going to be using it for the whole run. And we're still getting really bad room luck, wow. I think it's like our third. Oh no, that's 5 rooms. Wow. Simultaneously like the best ever item RNG I've had and the worst ever room RNG I've had.
Do they at least balance out?
Rooms kind of matter more.
Oh, that would make sense because they take time overall.
Oh dude, how many tie lights am I getting? I've had like 8 or 9 tie lights. I wish I could get this when I have runs that have like 2 tie lights at the end of Shipwreck. that does happen sometimes. Because they could just be super elusive when you actually need them. We just got an item that lets us do wall jumps and also climb up walls. So we've got pretty much 99% of like our movement tools already. There is one more key movement tool we're going to get later in the game, but that doesn't matter too much right now. Right, so near the end of Shipwreck here. So there are 4 enemies here that hit super hard. We're going to damage boost through them. Depending on our damage rolls, I will maybe... I'm going to pop a health potion. If you get lucky with damage rolls, and if you have like a good health accessory, like the Amuletic Spectacles, you might not need to pop a potion there, but yeah. But normally, if you didn't get the materials for the Buster Sword, you would farm for Tide Lights right there. Blank for a second. There we go. You can tell I'm like not used to having Buster Sword this early. It's really messed with me. In a good way. This is one of the most important bosses to have Analytic Spectacles for, because this boss only takes true damage when he's in this core phase here. And you can get him in 2 core phases basically. You fill out a 2 cycle. Like that. If you get lucky with a Buster Sword crit, it does 260 damage, which is really, really good. And yeah, White Cement 2 phases, which saves like 10 seconds.
Very nicely done.
Right, so got another partner here, Best Girl, Hanamaru. We're going back to the Fortune Parlor, but we're not going to buy anything just yet. The reason why we've gone back to the Fortune Parlor is because when you rescue a partner and go back to the Fortune Parlor, they will give you a quest, which means an item of theirs will appear in the dungeon somewhere. And Hanamaru's is so good, we're going to get it right now, because it actually, like, kind of changes the rest of the run completely. Good question how she does this. I don't know either.
Being able to destroy spikes on a platform is pretty OP, I will say that.
So we just picked up a suspicious looking laptop. I correct that later. Okay, I would have liked to... We're kind of low on money right now. I would have liked to buy 2 offense talismans there, but I can cope with 1 for now. That's a problem for future me. And then in 10 minutes when I'm future me, I'm gonna be like, wow, why is this a problem? But yeah, we're gonna finish off Volcano now. Because Hanamaru allows us to kill bosses, at least this boss, way more effectively. But you can slip by that crab without taking damage, but it's basically like frame perfect on 60 FPS. On 120 FPS you have way more leeway because I believe the crabs just take longer to like shoot their spikes out on 120 for some reason. But yeah, 60 FPS players don't have it so easy. Alright.
Sounds like it might be a slight balancing issue.
Slightly. Alright, so don't worry about why she's got that laptop in the middle of the fight here. She's not very good with technology, so whenever she tries to use a laptop, things can happen.
Hey.
Especially if you hit them with a massive sword, that's kind of not good for laptops usually.
Hey, regardless of technical ability, search is your best friend.
Oh, nice, that's a quick kill. Well,
you never know when you need to look something up.
That's not the quickest kill you can get, but that's a pretty fast kill. You can do a thing with the laptop, which is like kind of luck-based and pretty rare, where depending on the attack that the worm gives you, because he can give you 1 of 3 different attacks and 2 of them are good, you can do a thing where like you use the laptop and then everything that like touches the laptop's explosion hitbox basically reactivates the explosion. So like he shoots a bunch of fireballs out, they all activate the explosion hitbox again, and he just gets shredded in like seconds. That's still pretty fast though. We're now in my favorite area in the game. I love Sea of Trees. There are kind of 2 routes you can do for this whole section. Like basically from getting laptop, basically from like the end of Shipwreck to entering Sea of Trees. There are like 2 routes you can do. The old one was to go here immediately after finishing Shipwreck rather than getting laptop first, and then go to a little save point up to kind of like up kind of north from here, and then basically do Sea of Trees in 2 segments. I'm doing the alternative, which is to do Sea of Trees in 1 go. That sounds like it'd be way faster, but it's actually literally 1 second faster. The other thing though is that it's way easier to do it like this, because usually after the Shipwreck boss you're really low on health usually. And the section at the beginning of Sea of Trees can kind of shred your health if you're not careful, so being able to basically be at full health going into that is super nice. Up to the warp rooms here shortly. Sea of Trees has some really interesting warp rooms. There are a lot of really short ones in here. There are also a couple really long ones. And it's a really, really longathon. Oh wow, okay, wow. That's the room RNG I've been waiting for.
Yeah, there we go.
See what I mean by like super short rooms where they're literally 1 screen, and it was also a 2-roomer. That'd probably be a gold if I put that in my splits. I should retime that. I would really like to buy an offense talisman here. I don't have money for it. RIP. Gonna have to do the boss here without an offense talisman because we're that low on money. I don't know how we've ended up that low, but it is what it is. It's not. It's probably like the boss that we use an offense talisman for that we like need it for the least. Gotta be careful though, because he's gonna survive for quite a bit longer. He's gonna pull out some attacks that we don't normally see, possibly. But yeah. Triple Tide Light. That would be so nice in Shipwreck. You do get kind of showered highlights here. In Sea Trees, which is kind of insulting if you just had bad RNG in Shipwreck. Okay, that was really sketchy. I was
that was very close. I thought you were dead.
I was a couple frames away from dying. An attack where he like kind of explodes the ground. I was a couple frames away from not being able to jump out of the way in time. That was a little sketchy. Okay, yeah, you might have noticed that I if you looked at my like health and DP bars in the top left, you might have noticed that both of them were basically like depleted to 0. But I wasn't like dying or anything. So the really cool thing about the way DP works is that it's used up when you use attacks, and like the bike and the laptop use up a huge amount of DP. When it runs out, it will start taking it from your HP instead. But it will never kill you. It will always take you down to 1 HP, but it will never kill you. So, provided you don't take a hit yourself, you can basically do as many attacks as you want, which is really, really cool. Like, that adds so much more, like, skill to the game. Rather,
it's very much a case of risk versus reward.
Yeah, like, you can just... Yeah, just don't get hit.
Yeah, easy. Also, decent room RNG there.
Yeah, pretty good room RNG. This is the last time we're going to be seeing Grotto. Again, we have to kind of pass through here to get to another area. This part of Grotto and this area we're going into, I feel like we're supposed to do them before we even finish Shipwreck, honestly. Part of me thinks that. Or at least it kind of seems like that sometimes. We're supposed to do this way earlier in the game, I think, but we're doing it kind of late, so we're really strong, and the enemies here are not so much so. I completely glossed over it, but the part that we got in Sea of Trees, Yo, which is spelled like the English pronoun you, don't get confused. But Yo, her ability is to shoot us out of a cannon, and it's really, really fast. Unlocks a lot of new movement thingies for us. It's not faster in like every situation because we do get stuck in the wall and we can only travel in a straight line, but it's pretty fast.
Well, anything to do to save time at this point.
Yeah, and there was only one case in this category. In the other categories there are a couple more, and it was like 30 seconds ago, and I completely glossed over it. But that also changes our hitbox to be basically like 1 tile wide, so we can actually fit through some small gaps and sometimes do some sequence breaks, do some stuff out of order.
Oh wow, that sounds incredibly useful.
Yeah, the problem is like it's either frame perfect or you need to like get a setup for it. Thankfully, the one we do in any percent has a setup, so it's not too bad. We're already near the end of Coral Hill here. Kind of sketchy shot right there. If you smack into that wall at the end, it's quite bad. So don't go too low there. Going too high is not so bad. But yeah, if you're stuck in that wall, that enemy can hit you with its like little fish projectiles, and that will give you a debuff called Solitude. Quite a silly debuff, but it basically prevents you from using any of your partners. Nice. That boss is pathetically easy. You can literally crouch in place and dodge like all but 3 of his attacks. It's extremely easy.
Yeah, no, he was just staying in that one spot basically the whole time.
Yeah. So that's why I was fine, like, not healing at all before that.
It does get me quite worried, but then I realise, okay, yeah, they're not getting any.
Alright, we do have one kind of scary part coming up right here. Okay, there we go. That's a pretty sketchy shot right there. But trust me, it's not as bad as it looks.
Yeah, that was very close.
Yeah, if I could tell I was going to miss that, I do have a health potion or two backup. But yeah, to be fair, I pretty much never missed that. It's just kind of scary looking. You can also technically skip that save point I just took, but that would mean you have to do this entire part on 1 HP, which is like doable, but you don't really want to try it. It doesn't save that much to skip that save point. Yeah. There is one person who has actually gone for that in runs, and he did actually get it, but yeah, no thanks. It's like one of the only times we actually open a chest in this run. We need that item. It is very, very important for later. But yeah, until then. Just a little bit here until we get to the randomized rooms.
Okay, then I've just got an announcement just in. We've got a raid of a party of 133 from Argic. Thank you very much, Argic, for the raid.
Hello, Argic. We're doing John.
For anyone who's just joined the stream, this is Warwick Speedrunning. We are a charity speedrunning event raising money for special effect. If you go to warwickspeed.run/donate, you can go and donate to help people with physical disabilities to enjoy video games again. Again, thank you, Argic, for the raid.
But it's...
Sorry, Tag, can you repeat?
So many rooms this run. It's crazy. I've never had this many rooms in a run, I think. This might be my worst RNG ever. And that took me down quite low, so I'm actually going to heal here. I don't normally take the save point, but exceptional circumstances call for it. Nearly at the boss here. I'm going to do something quite silly on the boss. I'm going to not take the save point beforehand. This saves a couple seconds at the cost of meaning I die and go back to just after the warp rooms. Please cling on. Please grab the wall, thank you. Grabbing the wall's sometimes weird with the Switch Pro controller, I'm not going to lie. I have a lot of trouble with that for some reason. Oh, okay. There's a save point I could have taken, but I decided not to take it. Because you don't really need to. With the analytic spectacles, this boss should not last long at all. Get 2 bikes, falls off here. Another bike. That's like the one place you really need the wall cling to actually work, is right there, or you just die.
Yeah, that looks very close. Well done.
Yeah, that can be kind of a scary boss at this point in the run, but it's really not too bad if you know what you're doing. No problemo. I never mentioned she says no problemo instead of no problemo. This game has never been updated since release, and I've never fixed that.
That's quite funny.
Alright, so after doing all of the 8 bosses, we are heading back to Sunken Temple. This room has been accessible from the beginning of the game, but only after we've beaten all of the bosses can we actually do anything with it. So this takes us to the 9th area, the final, question mark, area, Infernal Altar. This area is a bit different to all the others. We are back to looking for some items to drop. We've got pretty good item RNG this run, but we kind of need a little bit more.
But does this take longer than all the other areas?
I think it does, actually.
Okay, that would make sense. Because otherwise, I'd say we're quite good on pace in comparison to rest of them.
I don't know, I mean, I don't know what time it is right now, or even, like, what this would be compared to my PB, but, like, this feels like a pretty good run.
Well, we're currently at 39:35.
Okay.
And again, your estimate is set to be 55 minutes.
Yeah. I wonder if we can get sub 50 here. Maybe not sub 50. Oh yeah, Orichalcum. What we've been looking for is Orichalcum. We need 2 of those. We just got 1. I've picked up a save point. In case we don't get it, that is too low. I'm gonna get hit. I picked up a save point in case we don't get it. That save point near the beginning is actually the only save point in Infernal Altar. Oh nice, we got it. Cool. Pretty nice item RNG this run. Too bad the rooms are just terrible. I shouldn't say too much about the rooms because we've got 1 more set of rooms and it's probably the hardest one. Oh, hello, joystick. But yeah, there is only 1 save point before the end of Infernal Altar. Like, only 1 save point prior to Warp Rooms, and it's all the way up there, so yeah. You really don't want to die here, or it just takes forever to get back. Been going into the last room before the Warp Rooms here. Oh, hello, jump, please. I never mentioned this, but jump and slide are on the same button. You just slide if you're crouching. So sometimes jumping and sliding can, like... Sometimes you can jump when you're trying to slide, or slide when you're trying to jump. Oh, I was on the wrong partner. I will not want to make that mistake. The worst mistake you can possibly make in terms of being on the wrong partner is going to use Daya with her bike in a fight, and then accidentally using Yo and shooting straight into the boss. That's the worst thing you can do.
Oh dear. And the time pause as well, so it's just enough time to make you realize, I messed up. For lack of a better phrase, you could probably replace that with what I would usually say, if you know me well.
I have not had this room in a while. Oh, that was super close to being bad. I was kind of playing with death there, not gonna lie.
Kind of art.
We're not dead, by the way. I just... This is not what I wanted to do. Okay, right, I could explain what all of that was now.
Yeah, what has just happened?
After you watch me just die inside for like 5 seconds, and rethink everything I've ever done. Okay, so according to people who've played Zelda games, which is not me, but apparently everyone who's played a Zelda game who's talked to me about this says that this is quite like using a fairy in a Zelda game.
I see. Yeah, no, I'm familiar with that.
Yeah, so whenever you die, if you have a musical score in your inventory, which we had back in Sunken Temple, you will basically instantly regen all your health. Your DP will not decrease, so you basically like can't bring yourself down to like super low health just by using attacks. And you also get crits on every single hit, and that last point is by far the most important. So you can imagine what you'd want to do is use that right towards the end when there are a load of bosses right next to each other. Unfortunately, I just busted it in the warp rooms where I'm not trying to fight anything really.
Yeah.
And
ouch.
that's a real shame because I was super close to not having to use it there. I accidentally jumped into poison while I was trying to dodge a guy, and yeah, that got me. I just made the wrong item.
Oh no.
I need to farm more Orichalcum. This is going off script very quickly. Okay, it's fine. I just need one more Orichalcum. I just accidentally made an Orichalcum ring instead of what I was meant to make. Please don't take forever to get this Orichalcum. There we go. Okay. I was thinking Orichalcum, and I see something that's got Orichalcum in the name. I'm like, oh yeah, I'll make that. Does she know? Okay, let's make it right now. Hot-Blooded Bell. This guy is like the best item in the game. So Hot-Blooded Bell, very, very important you make an equipment before this fight, because you might notice those numbers on our attacks are way bigger than they were before.
Oh, they are indeed.
Hot-Blooded Bell doubles our attack damage, but it also doubles the damage we take. So it's the ultimate glass cannon item. We can shred stuff way faster than ever before, but we also die way faster than we ever did before. So we gotta be super careful. But yeah, that is out of the way. I'm sure that guy won't come back. Surely. We are now in the last area of the game for real this time. This is Aqua Memoria, where we are going to be doing a boss rush. So we're going to be fighting every guy that we've fought up to this point, pretty much.
Oh well, that's the end. You just fight all the bosses over again.
Yeah. Well, and then the final boss, but
Yeah.
yeah. The thing is now, we are dealing like 100 times more damage than we did when we first fought these guys, so...
And they're not stronger than they were previously.
They are a little stronger, but not enough to matter.
Okay. Okay.
I was just thinking in my head what exactly is like the no musical score backup for this, and I think I know. Yeah, things get really weird if you have no musical score. Because the next fight is the Lava Worm, and normally we would intentionally die there to use the musical score. Obviously we can't do that. Intentionally dying now will actually just kill us, which is not ideal. Up Talisman. So... That is one of like the scarier fights in the boss rush. But yeah.
Yeah, it looks like it requires a lot more.
They've got a regular offense talisman for a little bit here. This is so off script I'm forgetting like where everything starts and ends. Okay, that's fine. That didn't look fine, trust me, I'm fine. That's not the worst place to take a death. Actual death, this time. Get sent back to the parlor. That's only like 30 seconds, that's fine. We'll be underestimate. I say not knowing what the time currently is, but it should be fine. And to think, like, this kind of stuff happens just because of one silly mistake I made in Infernal Altar. Like, this game's kind of punishing sometimes.
Well, I've just seen, by the way, we've had another anonymous donation of £20. Thank you very much.
Alright, back on script. So... we've got 3 more bosses. Well, no, 4 more bosses. I'm going to be very deliberate with the way I use my potions I've got here. This guy is a pushover, so I'm not going to use any potions for him. But you got to be conscious of when the talismans will run out, is the main thing. Because you want them to last a while in context of boss rush.
Yep, otherwise you're kind of screwed.
Yeah. So I picked up one of every talisman when I was in the shop. I used with the regular... oh yeah. One of every one plus an extra regular one. I used both of the regular ones. I'm going to use the EX talisman here for this guy. I just completely zoned out.
It happens, it happens.
I tried to switch to Yo early to get like a super early cannon shot, and then he didn't die. Because I was expecting him to die as soon as he does if you have the musical score. Whoops, that's fine. Let me get this guy. This one does actually kind of have a community name. We call him Fortune Teller.
Because the orb, I see.
Yeah. And finally, we are back to Cthulhu, who... Oh, I mean, no, he definitely wouldn't come back. No, surely not. Oh my god, he came back. How did this happen? So we want to at least have the EX talisman into this guy. Where are my critical hits? I'm not getting any critical hits. Okay. This is cause for panic. Okay, good. I've got to be really, really, really careful with Cthulhu, because when he goes into the ground, which he will pretty much always do unless you have a musical score, after you, like, kill him, he will pop out from the ground. The problem is that that will kill you if you're standing right above him right then. And, yeah, you want to not do that. So you got to be super, super careful with the last hit there. But okay, that's all out of the way. We're going into the final boss. Fair warning, time might be quite abrupt. It's going to happen as soon as the boss dies. We've got 2 phases here.
Yeah. Okay, Tech, be on the ready.
I've just immediately screwed the fight up. Hold on. Okay. I'm going to back up quickly. I immediately did the wrong thing there. We still have our Prime Offense Talisman, it's okay. I laptopped in the wrong direction. Don't want to do that. Right. Okay.
Right, here we go for real this time.
Yeah, wait to see which way he's going and then use the laptop.
Again, Tech, be on the ready.
Right. It is possible to one-shot these phases with one laptop, but we're not getting that right now.
That is crazy.
Right. Be really careful here. Please stick to the wall. That's like the most important time to stick to the wall. Okay. Time. Yay.
All right, well done, Leah.
What was the time on that? I'm curious. Is that it?
51:31.
Was that 51? Oh, wow. No worries. I'm really surprised that's a 51. Wow, that felt really bad at the ending, but okay. I guess that definitely was like 49 pace until that happened then. For context, my 60 FPS PB on PC is almost a 45. PC saves like 25 seconds in loads compared to Switch for any percent. So like, I can technically get 46, but like really I'm just happy with like anything like sub 50 or around sub 50 for marathons, because this game is it might have been able to start as a huge RNG mess, but it's a very fun RNG mess. Yeah, I'm glad that went somewhat okay, at least. I would have liked to keep the musical score to the end, but like, I mean, I backed it up mostly fine. Yeah, this game's a lot of fun. I think if you're interested in this game yourself, there is a free demo that you can get on Switch and on Steam. Try it out, see if you like it. It goes up to the end of Ruins, so about the first 10 minutes of the run. Very, very easy speedrun to learn. And then if you want to try the full game as well, that's also not super hard to learn. Yeah, that is pretty much all I have to say. So I'm gonna sign out now.
Yeah, well, thank you very much, Leah. It was a pleasure to have you on, even if you got up a bit late and do your Donkey Kong run. It's still a pleasure to have you. And we're at the very I thought we were going to go without a maid outfit this WASD. I was wrong. So thank you for proving Thank you for proving me wrong.
My pleasure.
Yeah. And just a reminder, we have 5 minutes left on the poll for what will go in Lethal Shake 4. We will pick the top 4 ingredients of that. And again, as a reminder, we are not actually putting estrogen in the shake. We are putting White Monster instead because we need the top up. We desperately need the top up. Attack waiting.